Hey guys, this is Trenchy back again to bring you another video, and this time I'm doing another tag video. Um, I was tagged by the Night Watch Zone and Trash Picture Show, aka Marty, to do the 10 for 10 subgenre tag created by HorrorMetal, aka I think he also goes by the Hellhound. And the idea was given to him by Jackson Knight Productions. So I'm gonna try to leave all the links in down below. Um, I'm at least gonna get Horror Metal and Jackson Knight in there for sure, and then I will eventually get Knight and Marty in there as well. But yeah, so pretty much this is like the 10 genres, 10 movies, 10 genres type thing. The 10 for 10, except for it's with horror subgenres. I talked to a dude, I watched his video, and he said you don't have to pick the same ones I pick. You can pick any horror subgenre you want. So I went a little out of the box with this one, and I decided to choose some subgenres I think no one else would choose. I also Some of these are my favorites, but some of these aren't. Some of these I feel like, kind of like what I did for the 10 for 10 genre tag. I tried to choose a couple I found underrated or just ones I felt like repping. So, yeah. Here we go so first genre I went with is slasher. I really like the slasher genre. And I went with, one that is very well loved, very well known, but not really talked about. Oh, also, I would like to thank Marty and Knight for tagging me, because this is dope, but I went with Candyman. Um, Now, Candyman isn't underrated per se, but I feel like I just felt like talking about it. I wanted to rep Candyman. Candyman is such a great slasher, and there's not even that many kills in it. I mean, there's that one kill with the hook through the back of the dude. It's so the blood's coming out of him. That's the shit, but there's very much layers to this. Tony Todd plays the titular Candyman very well. He's very dark and creepy and very ominous and mysterious, but at the same time, like, you can feel bad for him. I love how he kind of falls in love with the Helen character, and the Helen character is essentially targeted and getting murdered for trying to find out about him. If she just left well enough alone, she would be fine. So I love that gothic romance elements to it. I just love the presence of the Candyman. I love the urban feel and the social commentary. And I just feel like Candyman's fucking awesome. And plus it's a guy with like bees all over him and a hook for a hand, and it's the shit, man. It's the shit. So yeah, for my first genre, I got slashers, and I have Candyman. Second is monster movies. I love monster movies. Had to have that as a genre on here, you know. Last time I did it for my 10 for 10 movie genres, and last time we wrapped Brain Damage, but this time I want to take it back to 1954 with a monster movie classic that paved the way for other monster movies. Dem, the giant ant movie. This movie's fucking awesome. You got giant ants attacking the world, made big because of this atomic, radiation. Made the ants really big, and these soldiers gotta go fight them and shit to protect humanity. I love that, like, when the ants come, there's like this weird noise that plays, which ended up being like some sort of tree frog recording from like Africa, but it really works here. This movie actually made a lot for its time. It brought in a lot of money, and it was very well received and kind of showed the public and shit, or showed like the movie people and shit, that B movies, are more than just schlock. There can be like really good B movies, and the ant effects are amazing. The ants look really good still to this day. I still like the effects of this movie. You also got Leonard Nimoy, and I think it's Dan York from Bewitched, or no, from Star Trek. Leonard Nimoy's from Star Trek, and Dan York from Bewitched, respectfully, both starring in small roles in this movie, which is pretty dope. I don't think Leonard Nimoy's even credited, but he's still in there, and that's pretty dope, So you got Spock, and you got, I think, the husband, it was from Bewitched, so that's pretty dope. Can't go wrong with that. So yeah, gotta rep them, because them was kind of like the Alien of the 50s. Without them, we might not have gotten as much other monster movies as we did. It's like the revolutionary steps, Kind of like you had Universal monsters, and then you got stuff like them, and then that revolutionized more room for other monsters, and then you get shit like Alien. Just like it's just, it's one of those revolutionary steps for B movies and monster movies in general. So that's why I have to have it on here. Number 3 spot I have is vampires. Gotta rep the vampires, man. And I decided to go with the Full Moon 90s classic Subspecies. Now, Subspecies 2 is starting to grow on me, but this first one I just have a lot of history with, and I love a lot. I love the look of, I think they're in like Transylvania or something, with the castles. I love just the look of those creepy big empty castles and countryside and stuff like that. It's awesome. One of my favorite vampires of all time, Radu. Just this badass looking monster from hell. Vampire from hell, kind of got the Nosferatu look going on. And then you have his twin brother, his brother, who's like more human-like and the good guy. So you got those both versions of vampires represented here. You got like the Lost Boys type vampire, like Michael, who's the good vampire, even though he's only half, but he's like the good vampire, fights for good, looks like a human. And then you got Radu, who's like the Nosferatu original type vampire. I also like when he chops off his fingers and the little subspecies demons come out. That's dope. Just the shadowing in this movie's great. The movements of Radu, and just fucking Radu, man. Radu just kills this movie. Radu's so fucking good. Love Radu. Yeah. Subspecies 2 is really good too, and it slowly, I might like it more than this movie at some stage. I think I have to watch it more, because it may just surpass this one, but this one still has a special place in my heart for now, and I really enjoyed the first Subspecies. So yeah, at the number 3 spot for vampire Subspecies. Number 4 is werewolves, and this is actually my favorite werewolf film of all time, and that is Ginger Snaps. I fucking love Ginger Snaps. This is in my top 10 horror films of all time, for a reason. Ginger Snaps is the shit. I love the allegory of using the werewolf curse to kind of counteract puberty. They're like, oh, your sister's turning a monster. Nah, she's just going for puberty. But she's really turning into a monster. I think that shit's hilarious, but also, kind of fucked up at the same time. That's not a line from the movie, but just the idea of it, I love the characters. I love the twisted morality of them. They're very great. They're not bad, but they're also not very good people in there either, with Ginger and is it Bridget? They're both kind of fucked up in a way, but they're not bad. They're just kind of lost. Um, I really love the transformation. I mean, American Werewolf in London has the probably the best technically transformation scene because of all the effects. You could see it in bright daylight. You could see the pain, how painful it is. Got bones cracking, everything. The effects are amazing. But I really like how slow this one is, and you can slowly see like some hair grow on her here, or she slowly grows a tail, and just like the slow changes in her personality and in her appearance, like when she kills the janitor and she's got the claws and she's starting to look more wolf-like, and then later on where she's got the white fur on her face and she's still human, but she's starting to look more monstrous. She's got the fur and I think she's got the tail at that point. Um, and then in the ending where she becomes a full-on wolf, which is a cool ass practical effect, just a hulking monster. Um, I really like that. I really fucking like that. This movie cuts deep and it hits hard with the emotions, and that's why it's my favorite werewolf film of all time, because I feel like it hits with the emotional parts. There's some great gothic horror. It's just, I think everything they hit well, and it's one of the only. There's a few other but female werewolf movies, and it just hits home. It's just a really well done movie. Canada, you did good with this one, man. You killed it. So yeah, coming in at my fourth genre, we have werewolves with ginger snaps. Going in with number 5, I went with dark fantasy. If you don't know what that is, kind of like a fairy tale, kind of like a horror fairy tale type thing. Like you could put down Company of Wolves here. You could put down Pan's Labyrinth. Put down Hellraiser 2 Hellbound. Stuff like that. But my favorite, and this is actually my favorite out of this type of genre, is Nightbreed. Nightbreed definitely has some fairy tale elements to it. I really like the story of Nightbreed, of this guy framed by his doctor, runs and finds Midian, where the monsters are, and the monsters, they're not all good, but they're not all evil either. Just like people, there are some good, some bad. I love the practical effects. I love the look of the monster world. How the monsters, not like, some of them look scary, but they're more fantastical. It's very fantastical. You see it in something like it looks like something out of like Labyrinth or something like that in a way, like, or Dark Crystal, or like even a Lord of the Rings type thing in a way. In a way, I'm saying, like, just the way this monster world works. It's more than just a horror. It's very fantasy vibes. And I love you got the slasher element from Dr. Decker, who's like this doctor who moonlights as a serial killer who kills off people because he thinks they're trash of the earth, and he wants to kill the monsters because he sees the monsters as the biggest prey. He sees the monsters as the biggest trash of the earth, and he wants to be deaf. He wants to become literal deaf, and he thinks killing all the monsters, like, that would be like the best kill he could ever do. Like, that's the greatest thing he can kill is the monsters. And then he will be deaf, because if you kill, like, humans is not enough, but if you can kill actual monsters, like, you go to the top of the food chain, then he will be the apex predator in a way. That's kind of how I see his ideology. He just wants to be deaf. He wants to be literal deaf. Which is just an interesting concept. He's a really smart, creepy villain, played by fucking, I forget his name, but he did a bunch of movies. I haven't seen any of his work yet, sadly, but he did shit like The Fly and Videodrome and Scanners. A lot of things I still have to see, but I forget his name. I'm blanking. My bad. I know a lot of people are probably gonna be pissed about that. I apologize. I'm not good at remembering stuff, but that's just me being an idiot. So, but yeah, no, I love this movie. I do love this movie. So yeah, so for dark fantasy, I went with Nightbreed. That's my number 5 slot. Number 6, we have kids horror. I really like. I'm very interested in what horror takes on for kids. I know a lot of us have watched like R-rated horror as a kid, but I do like to see what attempts they have at giving kids horror for like at a PG setting or at a PG-13 setting. For so kids can watch it young. And you have stuff in there like Goonies and Beetlejuice and stuff, but one I wanted to highlight was R.L. Stein's Haunting Hour, Don't Think About It. This was like I think it was a TV movie that kind of launched the Haunting Hour series, which is a good series, but I really like this movie. Really good monster practical effect in here. There is a monster called the Two-Headed Thing. And he's very spider-like. He has one head that eats your flesh, the other drinks your blood. And the thing is, he only comes around as if you read a book about him and then think about the monster in that book. So the thing is, you gotta not think about him. But how the fuck do you not think about something like that, It's really cool. You got Emily Osment as a goth chick in there. She's okay. She does a good job. She's very serviceable. You care for her character, so she works. You got Tobin Bell, the legend Tobin Bell in there as the bookkeeper, creepy shopkeeper. He's badass as always. He doesn't hold back at all. He's just really dope, really creepy as shit, You got Tobin Bell in there, and this is R.L. Stein's writing, and he does a really good job with the story. Again, I love how the monster's practical effect. I love how they beat the monster. I forget how they finally beat him, but one of it's like they throw blood onto the meat side of the monster, so the monster that drinks your blood starts attacking the other side, if I remember correctly, and they don't show it. It's not that graphic, but it's just holy shit. They kind of make this monster eat itself, and then I think they do something else to attack it afterwards. But it's like the fact that they just made this monster semi eat itself is kind of dope. It's just a really fun movie. So yeah, Don't Think About It. And then number 6 for kids horror. Gotta rep some kids horror sometimes. I love that genre, Got Coraline and shit like that. They have some really good stuff in there. Coming in number 7, Home Invasion. Got my People Under Stairs. People might complain and say People Under Stairs is not a home invasion movie, but it's about a kid and another dude breaking into someone's house. They're invading someone's house to rob them. It's just like a reverse of the genre, where the people in the house are actually the real threat and scarier than the invaders. They kind of did that with Don't Breathe. They kind of mimicked that with Don't Breathe, and they've also mimicked that with a movie called Intruders, which is really dope, involving a woman who can't leave her house and people break in, but she flips the tables on them. And she's actually scarier than the robbers. People Under the Stairs is dope. I love the urban vibe. I love the characters. Roach, the daughter, Mommy and Daddy are scary. The dog, fucking Fool, the kid that breaks in, and you got was it Leroy? Leroy, the guy that breaks in with him. I forget who he's played by, but it's just great performances. Very fun fairy tale vibe movie. This movie has some fairy tale vibes. It's my second favorite Wes Craven movie besides Nightmare 3. I just have a lot of fun with this movie. I love the ending when the house explodes and the money goes in the air and shit, and the money reigns over everybody. It's like, yeah, we get the money you've stolen from us all these years, you fucking nasty ass people. Uh, just everything, the dad in the leather suit with the shotgun, just everything about this movie. And there's even like really dark scenes where the mom is like abusing their daughter and shit. That really hits home and really hurts to watch. Just everything about this movie hits home and is good. So I gotta rep People Under the Stairs for Home Invasion. Again, house is being invaded, it counts. 8, we go with superhero horror, because I love it. Superheroes is my favorite genre, horror is my second favorite genre. I always love it when they're able to mix those two genres. And we're going with the Trauma classic, the one that pretty much started it all for Trauma. We're going with good old Toxic Avenger. I had to rep some Toxic Avenger, man. This is a really dumb, schlocky movie that is fantastic. You got the nerdy janitor gets turned into the Toxic Avenger, and he's a giant monster that whoops ass, rips people's arms off, kills them in really over the top ways. And I love how it's weird because he's taking on criminals, right? He's murdering criminals that are just terrorizing the town and shit. So he's kind of like the hero of the story, but at the same time he's also going after people that bullied him. So if like someone, like, even for like small offenses like laughing at him or tricking him into doing something, he'll just go and brutally murder them. So he's kind of like a slasher villain at the same time as a superhero, and it's just really dope. It's just really fun. That diner sequence, that over-the-top diner sequence with the fucking criminals and the fucking, they shoot the dog, and then he comes and he rips off the dude's arm, and the dude's just dripping. He's like, you ripped off my arm. Like, fucking still dripping up and down. Like, has no effect really to having his arm ripped off. He's just angry. He's not even, like, hurt or anything. He's just kind of pissed and scared that his arm was ripped off. He's not even really in pain. It's fucking dope. This movie is brilliant. It's brilliant schlock. Brilliant schlock. It's just so good. Gotta rep some Toxie, you know. So that's what we get here. So for superhero horror, we have Toxic Avenger. So we're coming down to the wire. We've done 8 genres so far. I'm making good time. That's good. I usually drag this out, but I'm trying to go through this, not fast, but at a decent pace. Number 9, we got some foreign horror. I did want to rep some foreign horror, and I wanted to rep one of the best monster movies in the early 2000s. I think came out, like 2006, and we're doing Bong Joon-ho's, or I just probably ruined his name. The guy that did Parasite, we're doing his 2006 monster classic, Host. I really like Host. This like giant fish monster in Korea, created because these people dumped some shit in the water. Kidnaps like this family's daughter, and they gotta like team up to save her. They're trying to save their daughter from this monster. Meanwhile, the government are doing some fucked up shit. And there are some vibes in here that remind me of the original Godzilla, 1954, like with I think it's called the Yellow Agent, or Big Yellow Agent. I really like the family. The characters are very they feel real, and they have a lot of good development, and they're very three-dimensional, and I just love watching them. And I'm rooting for them to get this girl back. The monster looks real. Like, I feel like this was a mix of CGI and practical effects, because sometimes it looks really real, and then sometimes it looks a little CGI-ish, a little bit. But I really like how the monster looks. It's a very unique monster. There have been others that looked like it, but it's like I feel like this, uh, like looks similar, not looked exactly like it, because this is a very unique design in a way, and I really enjoyed it. The monster's fucking dope, and just seeing the family fight it and working together to get, you're really rooting for this family, and there's gut punches and all that. It's just a really well done story where you really root for the characters, but also the monster's fucking dope as well. And there's a great scene at the end where it's very human. Where they're fighting the monster, and one of the characters fucks up. Um, Thankfully, another character has their back, but it's a great scene. It's very scary and sad, but also kind of funny in a way, and it's very human and very relatable. And that's why I love Host, man. You got some commentary on the government. You got some great characters, three-dimensional characters, great monster. Just everything about this movie hits. So yeah, got Host. And we're ending it with 10. We're at my 10th genre, and I went with horror anthology, cause why not? And I decided to wrap a certain anthology I think is overlooked, which is called Extraordinary Tales, which is five stories taken from Edgar Allan Poe. Um, Animated in different styles. They're all animated in different styles that fit the specific story, and they're all narrated by different people, and you have the names of such as Bela Lugosi doing narration. You got Christopher Lee doing narration. You got Roger Corman doing narration. You got Guillermo del Toro doing narration. And you got Julia Sands. I don't know who that is. I tried looking her up, but all I kept getting was a porn star, and I don't think that's Julia Sands. Maybe I'll try to dig harder, but I don't think they're the same Julia Sands, because it seems very odd that you have a bunch of horror legends and then a porn star narrating this, but no, it's just that it's very well done. I love that they're highlighting some well-known Edgar Allan Poe stories while also highlighting some lesser known. I love how each animation style is done to fit the specific story they're telling, and I love the different mix of all the different animations, and then you get the mix of all the different commentaries. You get to hear the great voice of Bela Lugosi. And I'm guessing he did the narration when he was alive, and they just took it to compile it for the film. Same with Christopher Lee. And it's just, in fact, you got all these horror legends: Lugosi, Lee, Corman, Del Toro. I'm guessing Sands is as well. Hopefully, she's not the porn star, but yeah, it's dope. It's a very underrated anthology. If you're a big Edgar Allan Poe fan, or an animation fan, or a fan of these legends, I think you'll like it. It's really dope. It's just very well done, and a very good anthology told right. You know, very not told right, but it's just I love seeing all of Edgar Allan Poe stories on display. I put it up there with some of the greats. I think it's a really good anthology, and I do put it up there pretty high. Not my favorite, but I put it up there. So yeah, it's my 10 for 10 subgenres. We went over slashers, monsters, vampires, werewolves, dark fantasy, kids horror, home invasion, superhero horror, foreign horror and horror anthology. I think that's a good mix of different different genres. Um, if you wanna, I'm just gonna say I don't know who has been tagged already, who's already done it. If you want to do this tag list, um, just say you want to do it below. I'll tag you. Just say you've been tagged by me. Tag was created by, again, HorrorMetal, the Hellhound. Check him out. And Jackson Knight Productions, who gave the idea for it. So please, if you do the tag, please acknowledge them, that they created the tag and stuff. So yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this, so thank you again to Knight and Marty for tagging me. I enjoyed doing this a lot. It was a good little tag. And hope you guys have a good day. Stay frosty. This is Trenchy signing off. Beep up boop.